What's up? I'm with Josh, Michael, Noel. Noel, no. It was only fitting that I start like that. Well, yeah, we're recording
that my whole life. That is
I know.
That is like.
I'm sorry.
Actually, it's amusing now that Toby Mac has his like with Al City and is like Noel. I'm like, yeah, I got a theme song.
Yeah, I'm gonna download his Christmas album and listen to it.
You should.
I got a couple of. I got Scotty McCreery's Christmas album. Christmas album. I am mumbling my words.
Mumbling your word?
Yeah. But hey, awesome. Yeah, I'm special guest Shama. Hosting Shama. No. And Josh, we're at Mikasa. Yeah. Mikasa E. Josh Casa. And today we're talking about, we're on Josh's vlog, which I might upload this to my channel because I haven't made a video in a while. So, y'all are welcome. Thank Josh.
Yeah, so for those of you on my blog, thank you for tuning in to New Life Health Ministries. I like doing that. I always add the words right there. It's really fun. All right. So
okay, Josh.
Yeah. So previously we just talked about what wisdom literature is. Previously.
Life.
Yeah.
So there's a hospital with somebody in a coma. Why? Doesn't even make sense. Yeah. Previously. I'm throwing you off. I'm gonna continue to throw you off.
This is fun. So first, I just gonna ask you some questions. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. If you were to be any Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, which one would you be?
Never was a Power Ranger fan, but I have to go with the black one.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I was thinking you'd be pink.
Why pink?
Because real men wear pink. I hate pink.
Yes, and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
See,
I haven't wore pink yet. But
I guess I could be the red, white, and blue. Like, I know that's not a thing, but it should be. Why is there not an American
American Power Rangers?
American Power Rangers. Okay.
I always thought Power Rangers was like more Asian.
I think they like.
Is it Asian?
Like, I think it's made by Asians, but filmed American for Americans. I don't know.
Me neither. I always thought it was more Asian than anything. And then I came to find out that it's not Asian.
So yeah. So recently we've had some good conversations on wisdom of love kind of deal.
Yes.
Which is yeah. So it's kind of why I wanted you here. We're gonna look at
love. We talked about love, but it's not like that.
Nah.
It is like that.
Is it God love?
Don't compromise. God is nothing something. I don't know the words, dude. I'm sorry.
Well, all I know is the important part is there's nothing gay about it in our eyes.
Okay, yeah. It's like I married my best friend,
but in a totally manly way. Let's go. Okay. Anyway, so yeah,
Scrubs. We're quoting Scrubs. The only song that I know from Scrubs. Yeah.
The only one that's important.
Yeah.
In fact, that's why the show exists, is for that song.
Literally.
Yeah.
We're just stringing people along 6 seasons.
Oh yeah, just so they could get to that.
So we've been talking about love, mainly because I'm speaking at my church concerning love, and Josh was like, hey, Josh made a status on Facebook about love, and I was like, hey dude, I have some questions about love because I'm working on a little message about love to preach at Wednesday night. What are your thoughts on it? We got to talking on the phone for many hours.
Oh, and then the next night,
the wee hours of the morning, and the next night, and I fell asleep one night, and Josh was pouring out his heart, talking about his experience,
give it a personal life,
and he just was like, Shama,
are you
Shama? And I woke up and discombobulated. I had grits on my face. I'm like, what? Josh, did I hang up on you? I texted you, I was like, Josh, did I hang up on you? And you're like, no, you fell asleep. And I was like, I'm sorry. Then we talked.
But it was great because earlier in that conversation, you were like, yeah, I just fall asleep at random points sometimes.
Yeah. And then I proceeded to fall asleep at a random
You gave me an example.
Yeah.
so that was great.
I'm a man of my word.
So I wanted to look at Proverbs 31 so we can see wisdom literature and then talk about some of what we've been talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm sure you're familiar with the chapter.
Proverbs 31, yeah.
Yeah.
Describes the godly woman, right?
Yeah. And it's this dude's like, yeah, here's some advice my mom gave me.
Okay.
And he's trying to give it to his son, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of your context. What you're looking at is one thing that I thought was interesting. It talks about how she's clothed in dignity. And I know we mentioned something about how if you're actually attracted to a girl if they're dressed more modestly. Do you have
Yeah. Modest is hottest. I know that's like a have you heard that?
Are we going to say YOLO during this too?
Yeah, basically. We're hitting all pop culture phrases. YOLO swag, just to throw that out there.
Yeah, Bible is totally bae.
Oh my god. Stab
Okay.
yourself. No, but I got you. Yeah, modesty, yeah, dignity. I think it is. I think we live in a culture right now where people are encouraged to in order to appeal more, you got to dress less. People, females in general. I think even male. I don't know. It's very weird, but definitely. I think I know. Speaking, I don't even know how to phrase this, but I'm gonna try my best to say it. But like when you dress, like you gain attention, but you lose respect. So I mean, like a lot of guys will be like, "Oh, look, she's so hot. Look at her pictures. Look at her Instagram." But nobody's looking at you in the way that like females like nobody's looking at you.
You're looking at the parts, but not the whole.
Yeah, basically, like the guys literally will look and they'll talk about you like a hunk of meat, and like people are like, "Well, that's not how I want to be perceived." Well, it's how you're perceived. Just because I'm a guy, I've hung around guys, I'm heterosexual, I know how guys talk. I've had guys scroll through Instagram feeds for me, like, hey, dude, look at this girl, look at this girl, look at this girl, look at this body part, look at this body part, and I'm like, well, what do you like about her? Like, dude, she's so hot, and I'm like, oh,
see,
so.
and that's where you asked me an interesting question on the phone when we were talking, and you asked, well, how do I know if I'm like, where do you like, kind of about the difference of, do I like her just for her spirituality, but I want to be attracted too.
Yeah. Like the big something I was questioning is like. It's like, I phrased it by telling you, like, sometimes people will be like, hey, Shama, I want to connect you up with this, hit you up with, you need to hit up this girl. She's very godly. She's so attractive and blah, blah, blah. And it'll be like, first of all, she loves God. She's a spiritual woman and y'all just be great together. and then I'll like look at her picture or whatever. And I'm like, this is her Facebook. And I'm like,
like, she might be godly, but she ain't my type.
Yeah. And I thought to myself, and I was like, when do I know that, that I'm thinking more like, that's my flesh talking, when my spirit should be talking. What is the difference between, like, how much lust, which is a sin, would, like, yearning, I'm going to use that word, I chose yearning there. Yearning should there be, as opposed to, this yearning is more fleshly than it is spiritual. And I was like, hey, what are your thoughts on that? And then you told me.
Yeah. So, well, basically, I feel as though God made us with certain instincts. So when a girl dressed more modestly, I think it's easier to be able to tell the difference of if you're like, I want some of that, or if you're actually physically attracted to that. Because I think we have a natural disposition to be physically attracted to the people. We should be. And I told you, man, when I get married, I want to be able to tell my wife and be honest, I think you're the most beautiful woman alive. So yeah, I'm going to look for that. And it's not going to be the only thing I look for, of course.
Yeah.
But that's definitely a part, and it's something that we try to like over-spiritualize almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, and of course that book I let you borrow, The Four Loves by C.S. Lewis.
Yeah,
he talks about that. He talks about it, but he refused to use the word lust. He calls it Venus.
It is
because
when I did say lust, I did feel bad mentioning that.
And but it's interesting because he says it because he's like, think about how many marriages had nothing to do with love when they were first married, but they were still in marriage, like one wife, one man, or some of them weren't even that. Like David, his marriages weren't necessarily sinful, but they weren't really based off of love necessarily.
True.
And for a majority of time in Earth's history, love wasn't really a factor of being married. And not that it shouldn't be, but to say that just because you're looking at that physical attribute, you're in the wrong. I mean, I don't feel like that can be accurate.
Yeah, sure. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I agreed with you then on the phone, and I'm agreeing with you now.
I like that. All right, so let's not only talk about physical stuff. Let's
physical.
Yeah.
Physical. No, that's all it's gonna be.
So
No. But yeah, I do understand what you're saying. Like there's a big difference in like I said, you want to be able to. I think ultimately, women, which is something they don't understand, and I try to explain, but it's like you want to be able to people to speak well of you when you're not there, and honestly, I've hung around Christian crowd and like no matter how really attractive, like a lot of times guys don't speak well of you, and I do, but other people don't. I'm like, if don't give them a reason, don't give them fuel to speak negative.
It's interesting you say that, because also like on the flip side of that, Proverbs 31 actually talks about how like a good wife, the one that you're trying to find, is going to be one that represents you at the gates of the city, like she's talking about you. So it's kind of like how do people talk
There are
about
no
me?
gates around
It's
my
again,
sin.
how do people talk about me? But it's
Yeah.
not. There isn't no big gate. You're just
The
wait.
Bible is irrelevant.
Well, Trump's gonna get in office, and we're gonna go to the gates, and we're gonna.
Yeah, basically.
Oh,
no, but the
boy.
Bible, the Bible does describe as you spoken well of.
Yeah. And I just did your yeah thing. It's totally your thing. Oh, but anyway.
I took it from somebody else most likely.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
Yeah. Wherever they are.
But yeah. So it's
She's spoken well.
Yeah,
she's spoken well of.
and she's speaking well of you also. So I mean, it goes both ways, and that's I think that's an important aspect of this proverb. And again, proverbs are just kind of wise sayings, basically. So when you look at it, I mean, you're just it's one of the most straightforward forms of literature in the Bible to me. And then one other thing that was really key that you said that I think goes along with this in Proverbs 31.
I said something key.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You actually said the word key. You're talking about Kingdom Hearts, and you were like, oh yeah, that key.
And you were like, bum, 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 bum.
And I was like, man, that could be next week on. Anyway,
Okay,
so
what did I say?
yeah, but so in Proverbs 31 it says, "Who can find a virtuous wife? She's far more valuable than jewels." You talked about investments and how you view love, kind of through that, and hopefully not in too much of a transactional way. And like, I know you expressed that very carefully.
Yeah.
But
You're creeping into my message, Josh.
Yeah,
Is
so-
this going up before my message?
No. This is the Tuesday after.
Okay, cool. I talked to Josh when we were talking on the phone. I had to say that one more time. But I sort of view love as like an investment, and that's so weird to use like such a businessy term to describe something that's so emotion filled and.
I usually use sciencey terms.
Really?
Yeah, sciencey.
I think I like
A little
economics and I like the
Yeah.
process of. But yeah, but well, like love is an investment. It's an investment of your emotions for one, because you like somebody and you are donating a part of yourself. You're giving your part of yourself. You're not donating because you can't get that back or whatever. You are giving a part of yourself to someone. So it's an investment of your time. You are going to spend a lot of time with that person, talking, texting, whatever. You're investing money, whatever kind of dates that you spend, girl or guy, presents, birthdays, Christmas, all that. And that love is patient, love is kind.
Memories.
So you're investing, your memories, kindness, patience. You're investing all this thing into an emotion. And I'm like, why would anybody want to invest? Not just people think, oh, I just love them and that's it. And I'm like, no, love is such a huge package and it goes along with love.
And it's so interesting is again, to reference that book, Lewis he makes the statement that sometimes love at its greatest is when it becomes a demon. And he talks about how and man, there's so many levels of that to unpack really, but he says, man, when you do that whole excuse of but it's in the name of love, and man, that's when you're in the most dangerous place, because you just let a love that isn't God's love become God.
Yeah, it's because you're going above and beyond.
Oh yeah, and I mean that's where, and I don't want to get into this, but arguments both sides. I mean, whenever pro-gay people try to use that as their main argument, but it's for love, and I'm like, so what?
Yeah.
I mean, come on,
so what?
and there's other arguments that I'm like, okay, we can talk, but if that's your argument, I don't even want to talk about, because I'm like, that's a lame argument.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying, but yeah, look, when people think about it in terms of we just hang out and text. I'm like, you're not just hanging out and texting. You are investing, and you are investing long term into something. And I'm like if there's the way I view it, I'm like I've set a standard for myself. I will not talk to women who. I'm not going to get into all that, but I've got a standard for myself.
A whole other conversation.
I've got a standard for myself, and I'm like, hey, this is the kind of person that I'm looking for.
Yeah,
and when I find this person, this is when I'm going to invest. I would invest into that, as opposed to, hey, met this girl and whatever, she does this, but who cares? I'm investing my whole, and I'm like, why would anybody do that? You end up a year or two later, if you make it that long, you end up jaded, angry, resentful. You've wasted time, money. You've cut off friendships, and all that. Yeah. I think every guy or girl has that experience where you invested all this time in a relationship, and it just sort of ends, and you're like, oh, I put all this into somebody, into something, and it's over now, and that's it, and you end up hurt. And I'm like, if you view love as hey, I am not just investing. I'm not just texting somebody late. Yeah. I'm not just calling. We're not just going to Applebee's on Friday. That's my Applebee's reference for this video. You are investing into something, and find someone worthwhile, find someone godly, find someone who meets your standards, and then you invest all of it.
And that's where I know it's not a Christian song, but I'm gonna reference it anyway. I love there's a Mumford and Sons song that says, "Where you invest your love is where you invest your life," and I'm like, boom.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's true.
Boom goes the wisdom bomb.
Yeah, because people don't know. Like people think, well, I mean, like I don't really like her like that. But like, come on, I know y'all been texting for the past 7 hours, so you do, and you are investing time. And what I tell people, and it's kind of weird, but it's a weird analogy that I like to tie on. When people are like, opportunity cost. I bring that up all the time. So somebody's like, yeah, like we don't really do. And I'm like, well, I mean, if you've been texting her for 5 hours a day, if you would have took those 5 hours and worked in your Bible or worked a mediocre job making, I don't know, $7 an hour anywhere, you would have actually made money. So, like, investing into the whatever kind of relationship that you don't really care about is you are investing into something that is actually taking away from what you ultimately could be doing. You know what I mean? So, like, I know for me, like, I'm a comedian, an actor, and I work and whatever. And I'm like, so if I invest into someone who I don't really care about, like, that's time that I am taking off work or time that I'm missing shows or time that I'm missing open mics or something or making videos in order to pour into something that's not, that's taking me away from everything else that could be profitable in my life, you know? For something that's not.
So much truth. So much truth.
That kind of weird. I'm not trying to get too busy.
So y'all just had a Shama rant?
Ooh.
I haven't had one of those before. I don't think like that.
I got freaking tunnel vision.
And it was mind blowing. It was great.
Yeah. Thanks.
So would you say that's your number one advice as far as like if you gave someone advice, wisdom about romance?
Yeah, I would just say, man, find I tell people, find someone worth your investment. Find someone worth your investment, and you know, like just like businesses and all that, you know, they find people like, hey, this is where I'm gonna put like all my money. When somebody saw like a business like Facebook and they're like, hey dude, hey Mark Zuckerberg, you doing something great, baby. I'm gonna give you, you know, so something like that. So find somebody, not just trying to be businessy, but find somebody who's worth like, hey, I found
worth your time.
This girl, she's worth not only my time, she's worth any kind of money, she's worth the date, she's worth the Friday night, she's worth
your heart.
Going to the,
I mean,
she's worth the compromise.
We've both been through breakups.
Yeah.
And when you're entering a relationship, you're saying, I'm going to give this person the power to just tear me apart.
Yeah. Give them a heart. And then all of a sudden they do, and you're like, I didn't expect that.
And then you're left with one question. Was it worth it?
And the answer is always no. Oh, heck no!
So,
can I say heck?
Yeah, I don't care.
I said it twice already.
Okay, so then I know you asked me, so I'm going to ask you now and put you on the spot. Yeah. What would you say is the worst advice someone can give someone about a relationship?
Dude, the worst advice, the worst advice, and this is based on a picture that I saw on Facebook recently, like a while back. It just said like, don't give up on something that you can't go a day without thinking about. And I was like, that is so
more
dumb.
Like an addiction than a law.
Yeah, I know, and I was like, and the thing is, we live in such a world, and we're about to go on something else, but we live in such a time where people are constantly on our mind, and we will think about people. Like, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, on Twitter, I'm going to see one of your posts, I'm thinking about Josh for a moment of my day, whatever I'm doing, when I'm working, when I'm doing whatever, I'm thinking about Josh. Not just you, I'm thinking about my brother, I'm thinking about my sister, I'm thinking about my parents, I'm thinking about a friend, I'm thinking about a girl that I used to like when I was in high school or whatever. So I am thinking about certain people. And just because somebody is like highlighted in your mind, or just because somebody texted you or something, just because like, oh, I've been thinking about them recently, like that does not equate love, that does not equate it is time to take all of my life and put it into one person, because I've been thinking about them.
And as long as you don't compromise.
Give
your heart to some other guy, putting up your heart into the sky.
Are you quoting a song?
Yes, I'm quoting Scrubs again. Back to Scrubs.
I'm like, what? Wait a second. You tried your best to talk it out. No, but I think that would be like the worst advice. And you had some worst advice too. But yeah, people don't like. I'm like, don't try to fabricate something that isn't. You know, people try to make it up like, well, this is blah blah blah, and I'm like, no, that's not the case. Y'all have been texting back and forth, or y'all went out one time with a group of friends and y'all had like we had a moment. No, she bought you a smoothie. All right, like freaking shut up. That's like that wasn't a moment.
Look, if it wasn't a Jamba smoothie though, because that can be a moment.
Yeah, that's it. Marry a female who buys you a Jamba smoothie. That's my takeaway. That's what
that's it.
You bought me 2 strips of bacon.
But yeah. And you asked me and
I asked you. You told me. So, I don't think I gave you that answer the other night. But
you haven't said that yet. That was brilliant. It was brilliant. And I know I've always said some of the worst relationship advice I've heard is actually marry someone who makes you happy. Because man, when you base anything off happiness, that's an emotion. I mean, it comes and goes. Like, that's such a fickle idea.
Yeah.
And that's where you see so many relationships are so fickle. And why you see the preteens when their hormones are like, oh, I love this. Like, oh, I love this person, but then a week later, I love this person.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, no, you don't. They just make you happy for like a week.
Like, ultimately, that's one thing that I've been thinking about, and I've heard in songs a lot, is like, we base happiness based on like Instagram and Facebook.
And
like, Shama did this, or Shama went to Wendy's, or Shama did this, and blah 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 blah. And it's like, well, I mean, a majority of the time, Shama's just like alone at his house. Shama's watching a movie. Shama's eating a bowl of cereal by himself in a corner crying.
Whoa! What kind of cereal?
Dude, a Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
We have to know these things.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is my favorite cereal.
Now you all know. That's the second takeaway.
Put my address in the link.
Second. Yeah. But and that's where
like the thing is, like we post our highlights to Facebook or whatever, and people think, oh, life is just highlights, life is just amazing moments, and I'm like, not everybody. No, majority of the time it is like. So
what would it look like if I was to, for a week, put on Facebook the lowlights? Like, y'all, this poop I just had was like just terrible.
Yeah.
What? That's not.
Yeah, it was
but
raining.
That's life.
It was raining.
But that's life. But that's not what we give people.
And I got a flat tire in the rain, and I had to change it. That's happened to me before. But that's not something I'm gonna put on Facebook just because I'm like, I don't want to go be wine. But that's the thing. People think like, oh, I want to be with someone who makes me happy, and that's sort of
you know what it goes to?
Sort of relying on the fact that they're always going to be happy and they're always going to make you happy. And I'm like, that's not the case, because they're going to have some low moments too. And when they do, you're just going to automatically assume, well, this person's not making me happy. It's time to take out my investment
and put it somewhere else. Because you're only investing your happiness.
Yeah.
But really,
based on.
But really, it should be so much more. And that's where I've heard Pastor Mark say it, and I've heard Pastor Kevin Varnado. Mm-hmm. And they make that statement of there's that whole Disney mentality in our culture.
Shout out to Pastor Mark
and Kevin Varnado.
Shout out Kevin.
Yeah, but it's that mindset of the Disney has the follow your heart, and I'm sitting here left and thinking, yeah, but isn't the heart deceitful above all else?
Ooh.
The Bible.
You're like, isn't the heart deceitful? But people do. People think, this is what I'm doing. This is happening. I'm like, that's not the case. This is so temporary. This is so fleeting. This is like right here in this moment. Thank you so much, Phil.
It's right here in this moment.
It's my brother playing music from behind the camera, not working the camera, just sitting on the couch.
Right here in this moment. That's where you are.
Right here in this moment, right now, I lost my train of thought. But people do base it on happiness, and that is a futile thing. Am I saying that word?
Futile. That's a good word. Futile is how the British typically say it, and feudal is American.
I've been saying futile.
Well, I think that's more proper. I think you're more proper.
Okay. Yeah, it's futile, to be like, that's sort of like basing our friendship on, hey, Josh, I'm friends with you because you're going to make me happy. And then all of a sudden, Josh, you have a bad day. And I'm like, Josh isn't making me happy today. And I'm like,
that's such a bad friendship. And we all have those friends. We're like, if you need them, they're not there.
Yeah,
they're gone. They're piecing out.
I've done or said to people, is like a case when I'm talking to a friend and he's like, hey dude, I have a question with this girl and I like her, she's awesome. I'm like, cool. The only question that I ask is, what do you like about him, girl or guy? What do you like about him? And here's the wrong answers. I'm gonna give you the right answers, but here are the wrong answers. She's got the prettiest eyes. Dude, she is so happy.
Whoa. What if she does have the prettiest eyes though?
Well, I mean, that's important, but that's not the answer. It shouldn't be the reason why you love them.
Okay.
Well, dude, she's so smart, and that's all good. But usually, when I ask that question, I don't expect an answer. Whenever I ask somebody what do you like about them, the answer should just be, I don't know, because you like so much. Like you are passionately with all.
It's that moment when someone asks you a question that isn't yes or no, and you still say yes.
Yeah, and you're like, yeah.
What do you like about them?
Because I'm like, yes. if you can corner that in, and I'm not just trying to be morbid, but if you can, she's just got a great body. Okay, what if a baby comes along? You give her and let this. Okay, that's it. That's futile, and that's gone. Or, dude, she is just such a kind person. All right, all of a sudden one day she goes off on an Applebee's waitress. That's two for right now, Applebee's references. But yeah, she goes off and like, because she had a bad day, and all of a sudden you're like, she's not that kind. Or what if you say, well, yeah, she's just, she's just really whatever. Or if she gets like, she's got the prettiest hair and she decides to do something different with her hair. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, so whatever you based your love on, what's up, my sister? Whatever you base your love on at that moment, I'm like, Lydia, you just leave it alone, Lydia. The distractions are real. Whatever you base your love on at that moment isn't worth like what you just told me. So whenever I tell people, like, ask somebody, like, hey, dude, what do you like about him? And then the answer really does come out. I'm like, oh, this is what they like about him, and this is why they're invested.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh. So usually it's like, she's a Christian, she's smart, she's funny, she's blah blah blah, and she's a Christian.
And sometimes those answers aren't even honest. They're just trying to give you the right answer.
And it's like, she's blah 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 blah, and she's a Christian. And I'm like, oh, so that like a Christian, like that's like a plus, like a plus.
Yeah, like, and by the way,
I'm like, that shouldn't be the case.
It's not even the plus. It's and so you don't tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Let me let you know.
It's the Steve Jobs, and one more thing. And then he gives it to but so that's what I think whenever I ask people that and people give me an answer, I'm like, you gave me an answer, but I didn't want to hear an answer because you're better than that.
So to oversimplify,
yes,
your best advice, then you say invest,
and then find someone worth investing, and invest wholeheartedly. And
then your worst advice is then.
Don't base it. Don't base. I'm sorry.
I forgot.
I think I just don't base it on. Man. Don't find somebody worth your investment, man.
Yeah.
I think because that's
your big
I've told that to people and like young people and like be like, oh, dude, she's really hot, she's really cute. We're talking, and I'm like, dude, is she worth your investment? And that sounds real like so. It sounds like real pimp. Like when I say that, I'm expecting like a top hat to roll off my head. I catch it or something. I'm holding a cane. So found somebody worth your investment, boy.
So I guess the real question is, where can we all find a hot top hat?
I don't know. Top hats are us. Boom.
Do Power Ranger suits work also? Can I just take off my helmet?
Yeah.
Does that work?
Does that work?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So find somebody worth your investment.
To go back to the beginning.
Find somebody worth your investment and invest wholeheartedly. And I've told people, I'm like, hey, dude, she's cute, she's hot, she's smart. You're in the same class. It's awesome. She comes to our church. Is she worth your investment? And then people will be like, no, she's not. And they won't say that then, but they'll be thinking about it, and I can tell. And then later on, I'll be like, hey, dude, whatever happened to you and so, and they'll be like, I've heard somebody quote this back to me, like, she wasn't worth the investment. And I was like, oh,
see,
he gets
it. And what a lot of people don't realize is when Shama gives you advice, it takes you a good day. Like, it takes you a whole day. Like, you're left thinking about it, and then you're like, man, I was wrong. And it wasn't that you agreed or disagreed in the moment, but you had to think about it. And then, so y'all wait. Tomorrow, just schedule work off. Y'all gonna be thinking.
If you had plans tomorrow, cancel them.
Yeah.
Because my words are gonna be echoing in your brain in the most breathless tone.
You're gonna be like, what did he mean by invest? So
Shama, is that you? No, it's not me.
So to wrap it up,
I tap you on the shoulder, and I'm there in your house, wherever you are. I got real creepy.
Oh, man,
wrap it up.
So to wrap it up,
landing.
So to wrap
put
it up,
your seatbelts up and buckle up and put them in an upright and seated position. We're about to land this puppy.
All right. Find someone worth your investment.
1.
Don't base it off happiness. The heart is deceitful above all else.
True. 2.
Yeah, 2. And then what was 3? What was 3? There was the 3. Find a top hat near you.
Find a top hat near you. God. Who are we? What kind of generation are we? Get that junk off me. I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
I apologize. You can't. Why did you just leave change on my couch? That was like $3 and like some pennies.
All right.
You can't buy me.
You can't disrespect the hat. Like, look. Just because there's now going to be an American Power Ranger does not mean that we have to do away with Captain America.
You on your blog, and I'm sorry. I apologize.
You can't disrespect Cap.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so
at least not until we have our red, white, and blue Ranger.
Boom. America.
If you're a writer of Power Rangers,
you're watching this right now.
Right now. Red, white, and blue.
And you need a black
Red, white, and
Power
blue.
Ranger and a black Power Ranger.
We'll be our own show, just us two. You have your red, white, blue, and black Rangers.
Yeah.
And
Equality, America!
if it's October, pink.
All the Power Rangers.
all of them.
All of them.
Okay.
But yeah,
All right.
I think we touched up all the topics.
So, do you have a catchphrase when you leave? I don't. Actually, I have a catchphrase when I leave work. I can do that.
What is it?
I just put my fist in the air and yell really obnoxiously huzzah and make people think that there's someone really old there.
Can you do that?
Yeah, I could do that. All right. And yeah, let's do that.
Cool.
All right, huzzah!
Did you mean us to do it together? Because we did it in sync.
No, we did. See, I wasn't sure if you were going to do that or if you were going to look at me and be like, Josh, there's no chance.
Boom, boom, boom! No, that was it. Thank you for having me on. Follow me on Instagram at Shama4Reels.
And
on Facebook
his
Shama
YouTube
Rhino.
page will also be around in here. I could do that in caption.
Definitely.
That'll be fun.
Right
All right, and follow me at joshuanoel.net. It's New Life Health Ministries.
You got a
Thank
website?
Yeah, that's where it's all at.
I need a website.
It's awesome.
You think you're better than me, John?
No, I don't have a camera.
What?
Huzzah!
My camera? What the? I just wanted to get in the camera.
That was fun.
That was good.